Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here, and today I want to talk about why old school bodybuilders took glandulars. If you're looking to take your muscle building game to the next level, this is a video you don't want to miss. First things first, what are glandulars? Well, these supplements are desiccated organs including endocrine glands such as the pituitary, adrenals, pancreas, and thyroid, to name a few, and are considered superfoods with a high nutritional profile. These are usually taken as capsules with claims that they will boost your overall health and performance and enhance recovery. Sounds pretty good, right? However, with influencers like the Liver King on Instagram promoting these products, most of us would steer clear from such claims, as we know that this guy in particular is probably on at least 20 different types of performance-enhancing drugs. However, rewinding the clock up to about 50 years ago, in fact, glandulars were an important part of old school bodybuilding diets, and in fact were part of pre-bolics, an old school nutritional principle which I have already discussed on this channel. What is pre-bolics? Pre-bolics was a term used by old school bodybuilders like Bob Guida to describe the nutritional principle of using precursor supplements that would increase the anabolic environment in your body. That is, stimulate the metabolism to grow muscle. Diets that incorporated pre-bolics included hormone precursor foods such as eggs, raw milk, and meat, as well as glandulars, with the most popular being beef liver. However, further than liver, glandulars were also used by athletes back then and have actually been used for centuries. Looking back at the practices of ancient athletes who ate bull testicles to increase their performance, bodybuilders from the golden era would also supplement with orchic tissue, with the belief that it could stimulate the production of testosterone and increase their recovery and muscular hypertrophy. But it wasn't just ancient athletes that discovered the benefits of glandulars. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, medical doctors discovered that oral administration of glandulars were useful in treating several diseases associated with the endocrine system. Vince Gironda was one of the first bodybuilding nutritionists to recommend the use of glandulars. He and pioneering bodybuilders like Bob Guida claimed that they improved recovery and stimulated muscle growth by stimulating an anabolic environment. Vince Gironda believed in fact that combining liver with raw eggs and glandulars would create a natural anabolic environment better than steroids. Sure, these claims are difficult to believe and substantiate, but let's put things into context. By better, Vince meant that you would not suffer the side effects of steroids and instead only get the benefit of muscle growth and increased well-being. You might be asking, was Vince crazy? Was Bob Guida nuts? Well, let's look at Bob Guida's physique. Pretty impressive, right? Bob claims to have been natural his entire life, and he looks awesome as a natural, and he advocated his physique to his nutritional concept of pre-bolics and the use of glandulars. And what about Vince Gironda's physique? Well, we have seen his awesome physique many times before, and he was completely against steroid use. But was there any evidence to substantiate their claims regarding glandulars? Well, they both believed in the like supports like theory, which I have already talked about on this channel, and shown that some scientific support for this claim does exist. Further, let's look at what glandulars are supposed to do. Understanding that glandulars refers to the glands of our endocrine system is the first clue. What is the endocrine system? This is the system responsible for creating several molecules that are important in regulating metabolism around our body. These, of course, are called hormones. For example, the pancreas is involved in creating enzymes for digestion as well as creating the peptide hormone insulin, one of the most anabolic hormones in our bodies. The adrenals are another important endocrine gland which is important in responding to stress through the production of cortisol. But the adrenals are also responsible for the production of the precursor to testosterone called DHEA. The pituitary gland is a master endocrine gland that secretes tropic hormones such as follicle-stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, and thyroid-stimulating hormone. It essentially instructs the rest of the endocrine system and is therefore referred to as a master regulator. It also stimulates the production of growth hormone. Finally, the testicles in men, as we all know, produces testosterone. So as we can see, the endocrine system is responsible for regulating our metabolism through the creation of hormones, and for bodybuilders, the importance of the endocrine system is that it is crucial for creating and maintaining a natural anabolic environment in our bodies. Now here is the reason why bodybuilders took glandulars. Because bodybuilders understood the importance of keeping endocrine health as optimal as possible in order to drive an anabolic environment within the body, they would take glandular supplements to boost the performance of their endocrine system and support the production of endocrine hormones, to improve digestion, to improve insulin production, to reduce cortisol, and to improve growth hormone and testosterone production and secretion. Many people make the false assumption that the ingestion of glandulars will increase their testosterone or growth hormone through oral administration, similar to taking hormone replacement therapy or injectable steroids. And this theory will probably never be substantiated, as the oral intake of hormones will likely lead to their degradation through the digestive processes. The idea instead is to supplement with glandulars and organs to boost the performance of our organs, which improves then our recovery, facilitates an anabolic environment, and leads to increased muscular hypertrophy. And to further prove my point about the importance of the endocrine system to bodybuilding, when preparing for bodybuilding competition, it is well understood and documented in scientific journals that bodybuilders in a calorie deficit have decreased testosterone, which is why they lose so much muscle during the prep for a contest. Just look at several studies online on natural bodybuilding preparation on PubMed, and you will see what I mean. Decreasing hormonal output of testosterone and thyroid hormones are reported, whilst cortisol and ghrelin production is increased. To quote Pardue, Trexler, and Sprott on their case study from 2017, titled Unfavorable but Transient Physiological Changes During Contest Preparation in a Drug-Free Male Bodybuilder, quote, contest preparation may yield transient, unfavorable changes in endocrine profile, power output, resting metabolic rate, and subjective sleep outcomes. Research with larger samples must identify strategies that minimize unfavorable adaptations and facilitate recovery following competition. End quote. Here is another quote from Jarek et al. 2010, titled Anabolic and Catabolic Hormones and Energy Balance of the Male Bodybuilders During the Preparation for the Competition, who found that testosterone, insulin, and insulin growth factor 1 were also changed in bodybuilders preparing for competition. These data indicate, quote, these data indicate that severe energy restriction to extremely low body energy reserves decreases significantly the concentrations of 3 anabolic pathways despite high protein intake, end quote. So as you can see, the anabolic pathway of bodybuilders, especially competitive bodybuilders, is severely altered and decreased due to reduced endocrine capacity. However, taking glandulars can remedy these effects. Just hear what my clients have to say about taking glandulars.
Hello everybody, my name is Alex. I'm a student of Carlos's with goldenarrowbookworm.com. Currently 2 weeks out from my first natural bodybuilding show, and Carlos asked me to speak to you about my use of beef organs as well as beef glandulars. For a little bit of context, I am employed full-time. Bodybuilding and work both play a vital part in my life. So finding the balance there is key, and I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now without the use of both organs and the glandulars. Specifically on the organs, I'm taking a mix every day of beef liver, male optimization, which includes dried beef testicles, as well as a multi-organ blend. I've gotten to the point now in my prep where, I'm pretty deprived of food, pretty deprived of nutrients, to the point where my body is actually craving the liver specifically. I'll find myself going throughout the day, I keep a bottle of it at work. My body starts to crave the nutrients, all the micronutrients that are involved in that liver supplement. Notice an immediate effect with the beef testicles, just, felt more, for lack of a better term, felt more manly, which is always a plus, especially when you're in this kind of depleted state. And the multi-organ just makes me feel better all around. For the glandulars, currently taking beef thymus, pituitary, as well as adrenal. The pituitary and the adrenal for me have been the key to staying on track for this prep, as well as maintaining a high level of function at work. I have a very high stress job. I'm at work for upwards of 12 hours a day, very fast paced environment, and being in a low caloric state and, high tempo is not really optimal with my job. Like, definitely conflicting interests, but the pituitary and the adrenal together really have given me the key to maintain both. The way I like to describe it is both of those together. Just take a bucket, like this is your stress bucket here. Both of those together, they take that bucket, they make that bucket bigger of what you can handle, but it also takes that baseline stress or that baseline water in that bucket and brings it down a little bit lower. So for me, that's been the game changer. That's what's made this prep relatively easy. My homeostasis is in check. I'm not cold, clearly. I've been able to function. Everything has been going according to plan. Now, don't get me wrong, no bodybuilding prep is easy. Definitely have had, some bad days here and there, but I'm not getting those stereotypical feelings of being cold, not being able to move, those kinds of things. And I really think that it's those beef glands that have really helped me to push through. And again, cannot stress this enough, have really helped me to maintain my high level of function at work, because I need it. This isn't something that I do. Bodybuilding isn't something I do full time. It's a part of my life. So to be able to balance them, that's where all these beef supplements have really helped. And I want to thank Carlos for giving me the keys to success, making this prep easier for me. So thank you.
And sure, this is just anecdotal evidence, and herein lies the problem. Not enough scientific research has been done on the use of glandulars as a supplement for athletic performance. Looking for any scientific evidence supporting the benefits of oral administration of glandulars is like looking for a needle in a haystack. Although a long history of glandular therapy exists, I have to agree with Dr. Linda Isaacs from Austin, Texas, as she concludes in her review article titled A Brief History of Glandular Therapy, More Than Just the Thyroid. Quote, "This overview provides historical data to support the continued medicinal use of glandular extracts, especially for patients with autoimmune disorders. These products were widely used at one time, but the medical community eventually dismissed them because of excessive marketing and because of the advent of pharmaceutical products that were felt to be, with current improved abilities to measure markers of autoimmunity and inflammation, it is now feasible to conduct investigations to see whether the clinical value that some practitioners place on these products is warranted." End quote. And I couldn't agree more. Glandulars were a big deal a century ago because they worked pretty well. And I believe that with our modern science, technologies, and methodologies, raw glandular extracts should be standardized and analyzed for their molecular content and potential benefit to human health and athletic performance. Now, if you want to take glandulars, I highly recommend Nutriest from Europe, who source their organs from the highest quality grass-fed organic certified beef. Nutriest currently offer desiccated organs of heart, liver, kidney, spleen, lung, thyroid, pancreas, testicles, and now ox bile, as well as organic whey, and colostrum. Please support my channel and save 15% at checkout by using code GOLDEN15. If you want to learn how to use glandulars for optimizing your endocrine system and promoting a natural anabolic environment, especially for those preparing for bodybuilding competition, then please get in touch for my online coaching program. More details can be found on my website. So I do hope you have enjoyed this video on why old school bodybuilders supplemented with glandulars and why you should too. And if you have, then please give the video a like, subscribe, and leave me your comments. That's it from me. This is the Golden Era Bookworm saying bye for now. Head to www.goldenerabookworm.com for the biggest range of classic old school bodybuilding books as ebooks, e-magazines such as Iron Man and Reg Park Journal, high quality bodybuilding posters of the Golden Era stars, merchandise and classic gymwear featuring Steve Reeves, Marvin Eder, John Grimmick, Reg Park, and many other Golden Era stars. For those wishing to build a classic physique, lose fat, and build muscle, online training is also available. Collectibles such as rare autographed photos from the Golden Era stars are also available, and to collaborate, please get in touch. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Vince Gironda's approach to bodybuilding, his principles, and all these tips of wisdom that he has, I mean, there's so much stuff that probably hasn't been proven by science, and it will take science to prove or disprove Vince. But to be honest, these 3 books, I believe, which I call the Classic Physique Bundle, are the best books that Vince ever came out with. And they, of course, are the Wild Physique, the Master Series, and the Pro Series. Have a look at it this way. The Wild Physique, I believe, is like the ABCs of Vince Gironda's principles to bodybuilding. He teaches you the exercises and his principles, but how do you put them together? Well, the Master Series is a 14-month program of using all of these principles, all of the diets that Vince came out with, all of the exercises. And of course, the Pro Series was a book that he came out with later on, specially targeted for getting into competition. It's just these 3 books, as I call it, the Classic Physique Bundle, Vince's best work, and available, of course, at www.goldenerabookworm.com.